Git is a distributed version control system for your code repository. It is much faster and more efficient than other versions and was built purposefully that way by a guy named Linus. He is also the mastermind behind the Linux operating system kernel. It was one of his many brilliant ideas. In a centralized version control system, there is one write version of the code that is held on a server, a computer that's on the internet, if you're non-technical. In a decentralized version control system, what that allows you to do is for everyone to have their own copy of the code base. Now that means that I can have a copy that is working just on Facebook implementation, while someone else can have a copy that's working just on Twitter. When we're done, whoever checks the code in first wins. Of course, if everyone is working on completely distinct features within the code base, that's pretty simple. We can all just check in code to master and it'll be just fine. But if you have very, very large teams of developers, at that point it works much better to have a pull request system and a develop branch. The develop branch matches master, which is supposed to represent production that went out last, while the develop branch houses anything we could put out into the public next. We all do a pull request to someone else to have our code checked to make sure that it doesn't conflict with anything else that's getting done at the time. Whoever does a pull request first tends to be the winner, but everyone needs to cross-review and communicate with each other about what they've done to the code. If you're on a team that is using Git for the first time, there's really three main things that you want to try to do. First, whatever branch you branch off of, make sure you're frequently pulling from that branch to check if anybody else has made a change to it. That way you can update your changes as you go and have less changes to update at the end. Just before you do a pull request, go ahead and do one last pull to make sure there's no merge conflicts. After all, everyone's responsible for their own conflicts. Finally, definitely always use a pull request and make sure that somebody else is reviewing your code. It's always better if there's an agreement on coding standards and practices. That way, everybody can be on the same page about what good code looks like and what good architectural design everyone is aiming for, despite the fact we're using decentralized control of the code itself. If you have any questions, post a comment or email me anytime.